What is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders Picks here, and we are back with another day of sports betting. Unfortunately, yesterday we did only go 3-2, so we did end up losing just a little bit of profit, but overall, those 3 wins definitely still helped me out. The thing is like yesterday, Kevin Durant literally got injured in like the first part of the game, and he ended up not playing for the rest of it. So that's not really something that you can predict, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just something that, yeah, you just really can't predict that. There was nothing I could do about that one. And then the Pacers and the Hawks game was very close, but the Hawks just ended up getting really hot right at the end of the game. So, but I do have to head out for work here very, very shortly, so this video is going to be pretty quick, but I still wanted to get this video out for you today. So the first game is Cleveland and Detroit. Cleveland are 3.5-point favorites, 3-point favorites on some websites. I don't think I like this game. The only person out for Cleveland is Larry Nance. Detroit, they have a lot of injuries or people out, including Jeremy Grant. So I guess it wouldn't be it wouldn't be a bad bet if you wanted to take Cleveland minus that 3.5. It should probably be by more since Detroit is missing their starting center, their starting small forward, their starting point guard, and their starting shooting guard. So, yeah, I guess it really wouldn't be a terrible idea if you wanted to go ahead and bet the Cavaliers minus the 3.5. Now that I see it, it's actually not that bad of a bet. Next game is Chicago and Boston. I've said fade Chicago so many times. The Bulls are still going to be without Zach LaVine. Jason Tatum is probable, so keep an eye on that, of course. Kemba Walker's questionable. Jaylen Brown's questionable. Keep an eye out on the 2 beasts on the team. If they play, hammer that number, because they'll probably blow them out by at least 10. So, next game is Golden State and Philadelphia. I want to take a look at the injury report real quick, but I got to be honest. Okay, so Steph Curry's questionable. Kelly Oubre's out. Wiseman's obviously out. Toscano Anderson, yeah, he had a pretty crazy concussion, so I doubt he's going to be playing. But Steph Curry's questionable, so keep an eye on that. If Steph Curry plays, I don't think that they'll win by 9. Steph Curry is on fire right now. The dude literally can't miss. And right now it looks like Tobias Harris is questionable and Seth Curry's questionable. So just wait on injury news for that one. But if Steph Curry from the Warriors plays, I do like that +9. I feel like that's way too high of a spread. Next is OKC and Washington. Yesterday I bet on OKC to cover, and they did end up covering. So I want to run it back with them, but it is against a Washington team that can really score the basketball. So I don't like that game very much. I don't think I'll be betting on it. Next is Phoenix versus Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee's only injury, quote unquote, is Dante DiVincenzo's questionable. Let me take a look at Phoenix. I don't think they're missing anyone. No, they're not. So it's going to be a very playoff-like type basketball game. So this one is going to be tough. It's going to be very tough. The Phoenix Suns, let's see, they got smoked by the Spurs, absolutely manhandled by the Spurs, without DeMar DeRozan. So I feel like that'll never happen again, truthfully. I feel like that will never happen again. And yet, the last game that Milwaukee played, they got manhandled by Memphis. So, this is a very, very tough spot. I think, and it's just a 3-point favorite, so that makes it even tougher of a spot, honestly. Actually, I'll skip that and come back to it. I'm just gonna ponder it just for a second. So the next game is Houston and Miami. Houston is 9.5-point favorites. I want to take a look at the over/under first. So it's only 216.5. So if it's only 216.5, I feel like there won't be a blowout. So if you wanted to make a bet there, I would go with Houston. The next game is San Antonio and Indiana. San Antonio is favored in this game. Is Indiana missing anyone? Doug McDermott's questionable, but everyone else seems like they're good to go. San Antonio, just Gorgie Chang and Trey Lyles. So I got to be honest, I'm running it back with Indiana. I know that I seem like I'm pretty biased towards Indiana. I'm really not. I just truly think that Indiana has a very, very good squad this year. This is their starting lineup. Brogdon, who's a very good scorer, Karis LeVert, who's an absolute bucket, Justin Holiday, who's a very good 3-and-D player, Domantas Sabonis, who at the beginning of the year was making a case for MVP, and he ended up being an all-star. They have Miles Turner. They have TJ McConnell, who's coming off the bench, absolutely firing. They have Jeremy Lamb, Edmund Summer, and Aaron Holiday. So they have a very, very good roster in San Antonio, other than DeMar DeRozan, DeJounte Murray, maybe Derek White, and I guess Keldon Johnson's starting to come up. But other than that, I just don't think they have that good of a team. So I'm going to take Indiana money line. I'm hoping that it's plus odds. I doubt it will be, just because it's kind of a pickup game. Yeah, so it's just minus 102, but I'm still going to take it. I feel like that's good enough odds. Next game is Memphis versus Denver. It looks like Denver now is 6.5-point favorites, which is probably where they should be. Excuse me. But that's probably right where they should be. Yeah, I don't really see anything wrong with that pick, or with that spread. I feel like that's a pretty decent spread. But Memphis has been really, really good as of late. Like I said, they smoked Milwaukee, smoked Chicago, which doesn't take much. They ended up losing to Dallas by 1. They beat Chicago by 11. They kept it close with Indiana. They brought New York to OT. They smoked Atlanta. They beat Miami. They're a very solid basketball team this year. But I do think that against a very good Denver Nuggets team, I think 6.5 is just a little bit too much. If you wanted to buy down, or if you wanted to buy to 7.5, which I guess you can get here on PointsBet, so I might have to bet that. So if you can get this down to 8 or 7.5, I do really like Memphis because I do think it'll be a close game. But in this situation specifically, I think I would take Denver. I don't know. I don't really like that game. I'm going to go with the against my gut type of game. So I feel like Denver's going to cover. So I'm actually going to take Memphis here. There it is. Final answer. Next is Utah versus the Lakers. Donovan Mitchell should still be out. Yeah, he's out until early May. Mike Conley is listed as probable. Rudy Gobert is listed as probable. So keep an eye on it because literally for whatever reason, the entire team yesterday just decided, was it yesterday? I can't remember. Whenever they last played, after Donovan Mitchell was listed as out, the entire team just decided, yeah, I'm gonna take the day off too. Literally, Derek Favors was out, Rudy Gobert was out, Mike Conley was out. There's so many players out. So keep an eye on injury news for that. Do the Lakers have anything going on? So they just have Marc Gasol listed as questionable. It's a tough one, but I do think that 7.5 is way too big. So if you can get that on PointsBet, you can get it on Bet365. I do like Lakers at plus 7.5. I do think it'll be a little bit closer than that. Plus, Utah doesn't really have any scorers outside of Donovan Mitchell and Jordan Clarkson, so I feel like it'll be a pretty good matchup for them as well. It's the late night hammer. Never know what can happen in the late night hammer with underdogs. So I'm going to be taking that plus 7.5 for the Lakers, and they've been playing pretty well. They've been beating the teams that they need to beat, and they've been keeping it pretty close. They brought Utah to overtime and won. They lost to Boston by only 8. Beat Charlotte. They did end up losing pretty bad to the Knicks, but they smoked Brooklyn. So it's just one of those things that they've been a pretty solid basketball team this year. So I think I'm going to take the Lakers plus a 7.5. So just a quick recap. My favorite bets for the day, I'd say my favorite one is probably going to be the Indiana Pacers money line. I'm probably going to put 2 units down on that. Even though they lost me 2 units yesterday, I'm running it back. I do think that they're in a very good spot against the San Antonio Spurs. So that's my first bet. I really like Memphis, plus the 7.5, 8.5, whatever you can get it at. I really like the Lakers plus 7.5 or 6.5, whatever it is. I think, and I guess I never really touched on this game. I feel like Phoenix is actually going to win it. I feel like Phoenix is going to win the game, crazy as that sounds, just because Milwaukee is such a good team. But I truly do think that Phoenix is going to win this game. As much as they got absolutely manhandled by the Spurs, crazy enough, I do think they'll win the game. I probably will take the Phoenix plus 3. If Steph Curry is playing, I like that plus 9. If Boston has Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, love that minus 6. They should absolutely destroy the Bulls. And then I guess if you wanted to make a play here, since a lot of the players on Detroit are out, I do like that minus 2.5. So that's going to do it for me, you guys, as of today. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. I've had 5 or 6 successful days in a row now, so hopefully we can keep that up. But yeah, if you guys do end up tailing me on any of this, make sure you guys comment me down below which one you guys are tailing me on. But yeah, for now, this is King Sander signing out. Peace.